you knew if you clicked on that real Python link, you were going to get something that is worth your time. I didn't have to worry about the quality and stuff like that. My name is Edward Wright. I am a senior systems developer for an automation company. So we deal with a lot of hardware-based solutions and making devices talk to each other. And I work in Ontario, Canada. Well, my journey into Python actually started as hobby stuff at home, in the technology stuff that I was using at home. And I have enough experience doing programming in general, but very little experience with the Python language. So I was kind of starting from a very beginner level. And the challenge that I found was I did what everybody does, and I searched on the internet, and I found answers through Google or Bing or whatever I was using. And the quality of answers and the inconsistencies, even on a lot of the same websites, you would get answers from different people that are so vastly different. I certainly had no concerns about enrolling, because what led me to actually sign up with Real Python was in all of that frustration in my original searches and in my going through all those other websites and getting inconsistent answers and things. One of the places where I was getting consistent results was always Real Python. And I didn't do it intentionally at first. I would always just click on the first few, but I started to realize that every time I clicked on one of the ones at Real Python, I stayed there and I actually did the tutorial. And everything down to the graphical aesthetic of the site is very consistent. That's hard to say, because when I'm learning any programming language, it feels like there's a lot of aha moments. I think one of the biggest ones for me was in Python. There's this concept of mutable versus immutable objects that I always found not confusing, but I would always run into these funny little things that would bite me while I was doing my scripting. So I went back and thought, okay, I really need to understand this better. And they had a number of tutorials covering all of those topics and data structures and how to store things and how to work with things. And they're fairly short and easy to follow along. And it was just after going through them that I kind of finally went, oh, this is what I've been running into all of this time. It was this little thing that I didn't realize about how Python works. And of course, there it was on Real Python. I would say that the biggest impact that it has had is, for me, it has actually made the learning part of the process fun. It has made me want to continue. A lot of times when you're tinkering and doing stuff at home, you don't have the time or the energy to kind of fight through, these tutorials and random websites, and there's no context, there's no consistency. And with Real Python, you do get that context and you do get that consistency. So like I say, it makes it more enjoyable to learn. It breaks it down into very simple sections. So if you're covering a topic right from the very beginning and you don't know anything about it, you just follow the tutorial through. If it's something that you've already learned before, you've already done the tutorial, but you forgot one part of it, it's very easy to just kind of click through that menu, click through that kind of front-end navigation and figure out where you need to go to brush up on. I would absolutely recommend Real Python. Absolutely. It is a fantastic resource. It is structured very well. It's simple. You're not kind of overwhelmed with the typical things on web pages, like advertisements everywhere and crazy navigation things all over the place and links everywhere. It's just a very easy to follow, well laid out, well structured learning program.